Okay, let's make it more organic. This forehead, like transition between the roof of the head and forehead, is kind of very sharp now. So maybe we just get rid of it. So you can still feel that there is transition, but there is no sharp angle because this angle is kind of a little too harsh. And we can use the hPolish to make this smoothing process faster, because we can just kind of polish away the lines and the edges, but using smooth as well. Temporal line, this temporal line is actually a visible structure, as I mentioned, so you don't want to get rid of it completely, so you leave it there. But the rest is a little too hard. You need to soften. And on the face, be careful, use smaller brushes, as I mentioned before. This is the lateral border of the orbicularis oris. On the male, it is visible because this part is kind of gets sunken. This buccal area between the masseter and the orbicularis oris is kind of like empty when you're young. When you get older, after 30, 35, then you lose this because it fills up with the fat, and it's much harder to sometimes on the Superman you see these lines here. And there's also a term called OG line. Basically, that's the cheekbone transitions to the zygomatic major, transitions to the orbicularis oris, and then later transitions into the depressor anguli oris. So basically, it's something like this, and it's called OG line. So basically, it's kind of like a beauty standard for the female as well. But if female has very strong this line, they're looking a little bit too masculine, and usually if the female is smoking, then it has kind of more masculine features of the face, and if the female is smoking, that they have this kind of OG line. There's a bigger chance to have this OG line. Philtrum is now very sharp. This edge, the transition between the roof of the mouth and the philtrum, need to be taken away. Some of the features that I smooth out now, I'm going to bring back later. So now we kind of not working so much on details. We try to transition from the blockout to the organic by smoothing it out. Of course, it goes much faster if you have subdivision levels, and then you go to the smaller level, and then you can do this smoothing process much faster. Maybe we want to subdivide it later and do it faster. I don't know. This node kind of slides on top of the roof of the mouth, and it creates here some kind of rolling in. The mouth kind of rolls in here. The lower lip extends a little bit further. So vermilion border of the lower lip extends further than the upper. And the lips are very pronounced now, so maybe we want to get rid of some sharpness later. The vermilion border, I increase the thickness of the vermilion border just to see how it looks here. Maybe we need to bring some angularity to the lips. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna help to make them more masculine, because it's kind of very feminine now because of these kind of like wavy shapes and stuff. But again, we don't want to focus on one part too much, so we jump from one to another to avoid like overworking one part, because if we work on one part too much, then we lose the context. So the eyebrows of the male are lower, they are much closer to the eyes, and they are more straight. On a female, they are more arched. And again, if you want to bring this some kind of like a femininity to the male face, then of course you can use more arched eyebrows. The eyes looks very wide at the moment, so maybe we need to close them. Kind of squinting effect, I don't know. Okay, squinting means that you contracting the inner circle of the orbicularis oculi, called palpebral part of the palpebral part of the orbicularis oculi muscle. then the squinting happens. It also happens when you're smiling. These parts, like palpebral areas, they bulge more. I don't know. Maybe they're bulging too much. It seems as though the lateral corner a little bit too high. The shape of the eyes are actually kind of undefined. Let's make them more defined. Like, let's bring some angularity to the eyelids, so they are not like you know, so amorphic. Maybe it is better, maybe not. We'll see. Still, eyes are don't look very good. But again, you don't want to spend so much time on eyes because we still need to get clear about the main shapes. Again, let's return to the eyes later. So, shape of the nose, more clear, more defined. The bridge, the back of the nose, dorsum. This is the cartilage part, and this is the bone part. So they have to be defined. So there's a little form change here. We lost some angularity, but it's okay. But just want to restore a little bit. Masseter muscle, big, very massive, very strong. Cheekbone, maybe too high. Temporal fat. This part looks too angular to me at the moment because the temporal line doesn't have that sharp insertion into the eyebrow, so it's much more soft. Superciliary arch. We want to make them not strong forms later. Angularity of the forehead is also a little bit too high, so let's get rid of it. Very strong. It's a move tool, so we need hPolish. So get rid of some extra planes here as well. It seems like that there is this temporal fat is very strong, so it need to be. It's very gentle. Basically, it's like a temporal muscle, and it kind of transitioning into this fat that sits above the cheekbone, the zygomatic arch. So you don't want to make it too strong. Let's carve away a little bit here, and fill this area. It's kind of very deep now. The transition from the temple to the cheek, in reality, it's much softer. The eyebrow transition from the forehead actually can be quite defined, and it gives this strong feeling, very strong appearance. Another plane need to be added here. Upper eyelid crease, and actually resolution is not enough to make the details there, so we want to postpone these detailing of the eyelids and eye. So I'm kind of working on two small parts yet. It seems like that there's kind of something is wrong here. Maybe we need to give some volume to the pillar of the mouth. Let's give some volume here. Let's give some volume. And again, this volume is somehow in sync with this vermilion border. So the radius of the upper part of this pillar is kind of in some kind of logic with the lower lip. There is this depression here. There is bulging of the masseter muscle, and there is depression before it connects to the cheekbone. And the reason for this is actually that there is this. I'll bring you the model. And the reason for that is actually because as you can see here, there is this masseter muscle, and then there is zygomatic arch. And this white part, it's actually not muscle, it's a tendon. So the masseter muscle has this tendinous part. As more masculine, as more strong you have this masseter muscle, as a difference between this tendon part increases. So you get some kind of like a deep area here. So here you see there's this deep area, and it's because the muscle part of the masseter muscle, it is becoming like much stronger. So the difference increases. So it increases this difference between one and another. So let's bring back this beautiful edge of the cheekbone.